Happy Canada Day, A. Got about 3 days to record and edit this if I wanted to get it out in time for Canada Day, but that shouldn't be too hard. I don't plan on doing too much in this video. So I got Newfoundland to join the Confederation every time I open up the save file. I think Quebec and the Maritime Union will also get the decision to, join in our Confederation. Speaking of that Confederation, there, now Canada is whole. Now I just need to become a great power so I can become independent. Beyond that, I want to get Alaska, maybe I'll go for Greenland, but I don't really have much of a plan. Wait, king? I'm a kingdom? I thought I only had like 450 pounds, but I start off with like 450,000 pounds. I'm building infrastructure everywhere. I just realized I was playing America earlier. It'll be later for you, but I'm not a republic as Canada. I'm a constitutional monarchy, which means I can just appoint the jingoistic state capitalist party. Man, it's so nice to be able to build factories. I wanted to focus on getting inorganic chemistry first since it is the best tech in the game. And now I'll focus on prestige spam to get to great power sooner. Maybe there's negative side effects of appointing a party that didn't win an election. We got iron in southern Ontario. I think I'll build a steel mill up here too. Sorry, did I say South Ontario? I meant Sooth, Ontario, eh? Okay, so I hear what you're saying, but state capitalist jingoist party. Sooth, Quebec also produces iron. Professors criticize the system of the people vote, and then the king decides he doesn't like what the people voted on and just does what he wants. I thought America got the event for the first oil well. Immigration quotas, I'm definitely going to want to get rid of that minus 2% immigrant attraction, especially while the United States is at war and I could steal all their immigration. Holy cow, over 7,000 immigrants for a second. This seems to be the greatest increase in immigrant attraction from plus 30% to plus 55%. Everyone gets a vote, and the king ignores it. Yeah, the war ended and America's getting a lot of the immigration out, but it's pretty comparable. I still get more immigrants than them sometimes. We're in the top 3 producers of both steamer convoys and machine parts, thanks to all those factories I've built, and of course all the immigrants working in them. Alberta has both iron and coal. That's everything a steel mill needs to operate. Elections are the voice of the people. Unfortunately, I'm not listening.
I wrote a blog post a while ago about why I hate video games, because this is what it does. It appeals to like the male fantasy.
Look at that. No unemployed workers in our nation. I have a sinking feeling I won't be able to just ignore these forever. Although if all it's doing is increasing militancy or whatever, I can use that for more reforms, which give more immigrant attraction. My entire army consists of one underfunded artillery regiment. I think it's funny how steel is one of our top produced goods and also one of our top imports. That's an even more concerning uprising. You know, I think I might actually let them keep power for now, see if that stops these rebellions from happening. A free acquire state casus belli would be pretty useful, though I do have cores on these states anyways. Wait, no, I could do recover core and then add the free state. Of course I couldn't do that because I'm a satellite with a tiny army. I can't declare war, and even if I could, I couldn't win. Not 20 years into the game and we've surpassed 1 million pops. It seems even when I respect the vote of these plebs, they're still not happy. If you're gonna act like this even with the party you voted for in power, then I'm just gonna appoint the one I want. No reason not to. From negative 5% immigrant attraction to no immigrant attraction one way or the other is probably the greatest increase I can get from this reform. Crimea River peasants. We're finally rank 8. Now we just need to hold on to that long enough to become a great power. And the Civil War is about to happen, which means the United States will be at war, which means I'll get to steal all their immigration. There it is. That means now I can steal all their immigration. Still not getting that much. I have now become the #1 producer of steamships. And I'm still in the top 3 machine parts. Confederates seem to be doing well in the Civil War. Perhaps if it's still going on, by the time the Great Power Rankings update and I become independent, I might go in on the United States for my cores. Hopefully you can use that to win and leave the United States weakened so I can go in on them. Another day, another recording session. Cutting it kinda close if I want to get this video up by tomorrow. I want to help the CSA win because there's a surprising number of cores I can take off the United States. And once I build up this artillery and mobilize, I'll be able to have 2 stacks. Now's probably not the best time to just be getting started on army research. The United States isn't entirely up to date on military research, but they're a lot better off than we are. Confederates seem to have suffered a bit of a collapse. Let's hope this takes some pressure off of them. I don't really expect to be able to fight the American army. I'm just hoping to take some pressure off the Confederates. They're not sending anyone up to fight me. I might try to invade New York here. They won. I've accomplished my objective. I should really retreat before they bring their army to bear. Can I call you in? No, they have a truce. At least that gives me vision on where most of the American army is. Just standing there, I wonder if checking America's tech earlier broke the AI somehow. Okay, so I saved and exited, not before occupying Boston and Philadelphia, of course, to see if that might turn on the American AI, and yep. Also, as I was loading that save, I saw I'm allied to the United Kingdom. Yeah, I'm going to have to abandon that. Oh wow, they just straight up pieced out. Nice. We shall keep everything that we have gained. I mean, Minnesota's basically Canadian. CSA was enjoying all the immigration of the USA and I being at war, but now, well, now they're getting pretty much nothing. This will be the first revolt I'll be able to put down without having to mobilize. Ooh, this new state is yet another state with both iron and coal. Too bad I noticed that the constitutional crisis event takes away prestige, and so I'm not gonna overrule the will of the people anymore. And it sucks because that's the only state with any unemployment. We have discovered gaslighting. The Canadian people are revolting, and while we're dealing with this revolt, it's time for round 2 with the United States. Wonderful timing. USA has their own militant social problems too, though. We're back, eh? So if I listen to the Metis, the Quebecois get angry, and if I ignore the Metis, the Quebecois get a bit less angry, but they still get angry. There's literally no pleasing these people. Hey, we've connected the fronts. This will be the first battle between a real American army and the Canadian Guards. I'm curious to see how it goes. Got a pretty good general in defensive terrain, and once these reinforcements get here, we'll actually have numerical superiority. We won, but that was... Where are they going? Buffalo. And stack white. Great, Liberia defeated me in a battle somewhere. Must have been a mobilized 3K. They're attacking my 4-4 in hills again. And they were losing even before I got reinforcements in. Follow up to Birmingham. And we got there first and wiped them. Now let's line up for the attack into New York. And follow up to Newark. There we go, that's 3 American stacks wiped so far this war. That knocks them down to 16 brigades. Unfortunately, my Confederate allies only have 12, so instead of occupying more up here, we gotta move down and help them. Will we reach them in time? Yes, we did. Follow up to Montgomery. Gadsden, where the rest of their army is, which is a hills province, but they're splitting up. They retreated from the defensive terrain of Nashville to the plains of Paducah. I believe it was Sun Tzu who said to never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. Ooh, the rest of the American army turned up, and we're still clapping them. Army's getting worryingly beat up, but still gotta follow up. Now the United States is down to 0 brigades, and the Mexican army has been halved. I think this is the last real stack they have, other than these Liberians up in Newfoundland, that's what it's called. So they're offering me what I want, but I kind of want to get a state out of this. With that last reinforcement tick, we've now got about twice their number. That's probably good enough for attacking into a plains province with a 5 attack. And follow up. 0 brigades. Beautiful. Now Liberia has the largest army in that alliance block. I think I shall take New York. I opened the news and saw this, and it's looking a bit more like Hearts of Iron over here than Victoria too. I think the CSA deserves to get something out of this too. Unfortunately, it costs me infamy to add it, and I can't just tag over to them and add it because they don't have the war score. I'll see you again once I've unoccupied their country. Oh, it seems they pieced out separately. Oh well. Also, I would like to mention that they were rank 9 before the peace, so even before taking a state and humiliating them, we'd knock them out of great power, and they're still getting better immigration than we are. But at least the CSA's catching up too. The CSA can't beat their Yankee Patriots because their army got beat up so bad in that war, but then the Union got a bunch of Dixie Patriots that rose up, some in the capital, so I think they're going to have a pretty good chance of winning. No, I guess the Union passed some kind of reform because a lot of them stood down, but they're still occupying the capital. And we've got our own Yankee Patriots. It's been a while since I've had to mobilize to deal with a revolt. The CSA seems to have dealt with their Yankee separatists, and the Dixie separatists at least got the Maryland. I think the reason we're all getting rebels so bad is because we're all still on such high war exhaustion from that war. It still hasn't gone down yet. The United States has already recovered and gotten back into great power. They got back into great power so fast they didn't even lose their sphere. You know, I gotta say, I miss the peaceful nation building I was going through last session. And you know, as soon as that truce runs up, the United States is just going to go in again. And maybe they won't, at least not for a restore order, because they've lost their cores on the CSA, and they've even lost Dixie as an accepted pop. The reactionaries actually won an election somehow, despite having like 10% support. Well, I'm not complaining. Well, my prediction was wrong. The American truces have run up, and they're not declaring war. Probably because... oh, I spoke too soon. There's a low-org American stack on indefensible terrain. This is defensive terrain, but we should be able to overwhelm them. Another successful campaign. I should like another state, I think. They're offering peace, which means it's time to add another state. Got my 5 attack. James Doyle, no! He has been avenged. And now that I've got my war goals added, I can call in my secret weapon. That is quite a few Yankee Patriots. Wait, why are there Yankee Patriots up in Canada proper? Yeah, we're mobilized in peacetime because it's not actually peacetime, there's a massive rebellion. I want to get them so bad, but they're speared by the British. Probably release them during the peace deal. Colonial negotiations, that means I can start to colonize this. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 157 158 159 160 161 162 You know, I find it kind of funny how we actually do get immigration, because, like, the reason people were immigrating to the New World historically was because there wasn't much war over here. But the United States, Confederate States, Canada, and Mexico keep going to war every decade. The CSA has become a great power. You know, I would think after having been allied to them for a couple decades now, I would have already recognized them. How the tables have turned. I'm getting Massachusetts from this war. Guess it's straight out because I can actually only add one of my free war goals. These Yankee patriots are putting up more of a fight than the Yankees themselves. Huh. Apparently France is in on this. The United States has gone bankrupt. Stack white. I was hoping killing this French army would be enough to add at least another of my corps. Now we have a land border with our ally. That's why I chose Wyoming. New England just happened. So a crisis has erupted against New York. I can't offer the Confederate States their corps back. I suppose they got them all. Well, I can get Russia on my side by offering to humiliate the British at least. Well, I managed to get the CSA on my side without promising them anything. Time for World War I over New York.
Off to a pretty good start over here. How's your front going, Russia? Of course, no matter how well we're doing in America, Russia is collapsing. Maybe if Russia's separate pieces, I'll be able to get enough war score to actually add something on the United States. There's no separate peace in crisis wars. This war is unfortunately unwinnable because it requires the Russians to hold off the Germans, so I'll just give it up and be back once the truce is over. In the meantime, this does mean fewer rebels for me to deal with. Wow, I'm the reason you exist, how dare you. Excuse me? I've got my defensive line here, but with my 3 combat ready stacks, I think I could actually hold a line further up. Yeah, they're moving. Winnipeg. I think that's a stack white. Of course, even after that, they've still got twice the army I do. Haven't mobilized yet because I was trying to build... What are you doing in Canada? I'm back at it again. Come on, hurry up. And there's another Confederate stack white. They did it again, but I took too long to notice and they might actually destroy the army. With my mobilization and another victory, I now have a larger army than them. This won't be a battle in defensive terrain, but I do have my defense general ready to take over. Don't even have to follow up on that one. Oh, there's another Confederate army moving into my rear. They are moving into my defensive general again. Will they ever learn? And with that, I'm at 96. They're at 1. Well, I don't want to spend the infamy on a state, so I'm gonna at least get reparations out of this war. The Americans have gone communist. Wait, does that mean they've lost their alliance with France? Let's go. And I beat up on the CSA so hard the USA feels confident in going in on them again. Of course, my truce is up with the USA too. I guess we'll go in for one last war. Canada and the CSA double teaming the USA one last time. They're mobilizing so much under me here, I thought I might actually lose. Are they going to attack my defense general yet again? They are. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it on defensive terrain. With those reinforcements, they may actually win. Really? I got this army here on farmlands and you're going in on the mountains? Follow up to Newark. That's a brutal battle there, but we won. I'm gonna go for all of my corps in this war, offering peace. I think one more. Let me see how much to get New York back. 82, we couldn't do that, okay. Well, it was a fun game, but I found it rather melancholic at the end. I mean, the Allies, we broke up, and the USA, I mean, look what I've done to my country. I got an event earlier, I don't think I recorded it. The dream is dead or something, and my heart. But hey, I got all my cores, and if I can edit the rest of this video in the next 25 minutes, I might even get this video still up on Canada Day. Oh, and on the note of it being somewhat depressing, I also didn't even get Alaska, which was like the one thing I wanted to do starting this.